Hey everybody, welcome to CLC Sports USA. My name is Chris Check, and the series that was so loved back in the summer when I started it, Transfer Talk, is back. We're going to be talking about a few things concerning Liverpool Football Club and the transfer rumors going around, specifically Tom Ince and Daniel Sturridge, since they've been the heavily linked ones. Some reports Sturridge has even already signed, passed the medical, and is training with Liverpool Football Club. But of course, we all know some of the rumors that the media comes up with during this time of the year. But I do want to get into this. I do want to get started. I do want you to just think about some of the things I'm saying. And I don't know, you can give your opinion on what I think at the end. So, we're starting on the left here. You see I have at the very top, no young players. Now, after that, I have a list. Jonjo Shelvey, Suso, Jonjo Shelvey. I said Shelvey twice. I meant Raheem Sterling, Joe Allen, Jordan Henderson, Simon Yiesel, Andy Carroll, Tom Ince, and Daniel Sturridge are all on that list. Now, you realize all of those players are under the age of, I believe it's 25, maybe even 24. I think the oldest is 23. I could be wrong about that. You know, one of the problems that we've had at Liverpool Football Club, especially in the last year, is I think we're trying to make this too much of a future team when we need to realize that there is some value in getting some experienced players to play well now. I mean, you look at teams like Tottenham Hotspur with players like Jermaine Defoe. Defoe is not a world-class known striker, but you know, Defoe is experienced and knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. I'm not saying that going with a player like Daniel Sturridge is the wrong option, but what I am saying is this list right here is a lot of young players, and I'm a little bit scared of adding some more young players onto that list. Secondly, you see I have no English players. You know, and then I have another list. I have Jordan Henderson, Stuart Downing, Andy Carroll, Daniel Sturridge, and Tom Ince. We've run into trouble, especially in the last 2 years, buying English players at inflated values. Now, I would agree with most that Dalglish did not spend his money in an appropriate way. At the time, it really didn't seem so bad. We were getting some decent players like Stuart Downing, a young star in Jordan Henderson. Andy Carroll even seemed like a decent buy. Not really. And then under that, you see a list. Xabi Alonso, Alvaro Arbeloa, Fernando Torres, Dirk Kuyt, Yossi Benayoun, Lucas Leiva, Luis Suarez, Pepe Reina, Daniel Agger, Martin Skrtel, and Sami Hyypiä. Now, I don't know if you realized anything about that list, but of course, except for the last few, such as Agger, Skrtel, Suarez, you know, all those were in the team of 4 years ago. You know, 4 years ago at this time, we were sitting first in the league or second in the league. But, you know, we didn't have English players in the squad. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some good players out there that are English. Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard are two very prime examples. Wayne Rooney, as much as we hate him, is a decent striker. You know, this is certainly something that should be looked at. You know, foreign players, as much as people say, well, are they going to be able to adapt to the Premier League? Are they going to be able to handle its physical toughness? Well, I mean, hey, Luis Suarez came in, Fernando Torres came in, and they did just fine. I think it's worth the risk buying foreign players, and I think overall it gives you a more complete squad, and I think it gives you a better skilled squad. And then right underneath it, you just have players that I think we should sell this transfer window. Downing and Cole are the two primary ones. There are other players that we could sell, but I do think they are the main possibilities to be sold. Now over here, you see wing dilemma. I think if we buy Daniel Sturridge, we are going to have a wing dilemma. You say, what do you mean by that? Obviously, I've set up the formation here, and I have Sterling and Suarez. Of course, you could flip them either way. And then you have Sturridge in the middle. Under that, you have Steven Gerrard, which I have in parentheses, Jordan Henderson and Nuri Sahin, because honestly, I really do think, and I'm not trying to be unkind to Steven Gerrard, I think he's past it, and I think a player like Jordan Henderson or Nuri Sahin could step in and do well and could develop into a great player. I have Lucas and Allen here, I have Enrique, Agger, Skrtel, Johnson, and of course Pepe Reina. Now that's a very typical formation. That's going with a 4-2-1-3, or however you want to say it, 4-3-3 basically. Lucas and Allen, of course, that's debatable whether you want to put both of them into the same squad. But I'm focusing up top here. You see, if we buy Daniel Sturridge, undoubtedly he's going to take the middle of the pitch. I mean, how else can you do it with wingers like Sterling and Suarez? I mean, Suarez, as we have seen, he doesn't play that well in the middle, though I could see Brendan Rodgers trying to play him there with the amount of goals he's scored this season. But don't forget this man right here. See that name right there? Fabio Borini. We bought Borini back in the summer. I actually got to see him play when they were in America. First ever time he pulled on the Liverpool Football Club shirt and played. You know, he broke his leg, but he is not gone. He's still on the team, and he's going to come back. And when he comes back, Rodgers before was playing Borini right there. You say, what's the issue? Well, you see, Sturridge, though he is a striker, is more of a winger in my opinion. So all of a sudden, Borini takes the middle. What do you do with Sturridge? I mean, you could take out Sterling. Certainly you can't take out Suarez for Sturridge. But it really causes controversy because now you have Sterling, you have Sturridge, and you have this other man, Assaidi. Now, I know Assaidi hasn't really got into the team, but I honestly believe that at one point or another, he's going to get into it. Never mind the fact that Stuart Downing can play right there and has been playing up front for us. So for me, it really causes a problem, though I do think Downing will be sold and you don't have to worry about it. You have Assaidi, Sterling, and Sturridge. All three of those players are very good, and week in and week out, it gives Rodgers something to think about. It gives him a problem. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad problem, but what I am saying is when you've got the same starting 11, and I understand the need for rotation and all that, but when you've got three strikers who know how each other play and they know what to expect of the other player, it makes things much easier and it makes a flow much better. Because if you're constantly going for, say, replace that name with Borini and you have Sturridge, Borini, and Suarez, and then all of a sudden the next week you have Sterling, Borini, and Suarez, and then the next week you have Stuart Downing, Borini, and Suarez. It's just really, for me, it takes away a little bit of the flow that we could have. You know, that's basically all my thoughts. I don't know whether we should buy Sturridge. It could go either way. He could be a great signing, or he could be a flop of a signing. Give me your thoughts on Daniel Sturridge, and give me your thoughts on this board right behind me below. I'll look forward to hearing those thoughts. That's it for this episode of Transfer Talk. Leave a like if you enjoyed. You can subscribe right up there if you want to see more stuff like this. You're going to be getting this all January. Aren't you excited? But anyways, that is it for CLC Sports USA. My name is Chris Check. We'll see you guys next time. And for all you Reds fans out there, remember that you'll never walk alone.